of the Senate finds the governor culpable of the charges that are before us, you would also admit that you have failed in your duty as one of the advisors of the governor?
On this question, I want to say I'm part of those people that have tried to mediate in my level.
I'm talking about not even to mediate. I'm talking about handling the governor, the governor's handlers. Does the governor has an advisory council or an advisory team, which I want to believe you must be part of?
Yes, it is there.
It is there.
Yes.
So if we uphold the impeachment motion, you will have let Meru down.
Yes.
You will be among the people who have let Meru down.
On this question, I want to say categorically that we, those that are with the governor, we've tried our best. Governor has complied with all our requests for her. Governor has also complied with the requests for those that are outside. For example, she 100% complied with the request from the Council of Governors and allowed the MCAs now
my
to
friend,
come down.
Gatobu, we are here and Kenya is watching. We want to solve the problem in Meru.
Yes.
Would you say that the governor is a difficult person to deal with?
She is not.
Would you say that because all other leaders have been unable to work with her, what would you then say is the problem? Is it you, the advisors? Is it the spouse? Is it the governor, Kawira, the person? We need to get the problem in Meru.
The major problem that we have in Meru is the one that you mentioned. I want to be very clear on this. When you give a demand to the governor that is not tenable. For example, the MCAs have said categorically, and that's why we are able to bring even the videos that are outside this motion, because we felt that that is where the major problem
Mr.
is.
Gatobu, you're not being honest, because we have watched videos here of roadside declarations, of things that ordinarily a leader may not be expected of. So would you tell us you are the one advising the governor to make roadside declarations, to do employment in the streets, to shout at every leader, to attack the church?
In my own assessment, I want to say, and that's what I want to repeat, the problem that is in email, to be very sincere from the bottom of my heart, is not what is contained in it. In Meru County.
Chair, yes, my case.
Senator Okech, at senior light first.
Thank you, Chair. I'll be very brief, actually. You have been, in your introduction and in a number of questions by different council members and one member of this committee, you have been asked, in the county of Meru, who do you consider yourself? Do you consider yourself a staff of the governor's office, or do you consider yourself an employee of the County Public Service Board of Meru?
I'm a staff in the governor's office.
You're a staff in the governor's office?
Yes.
Chair, I hope you take note on that, because the witness said when Senator Ali Roba asked that you are an employee of the County Public Service Board. But that said, you did indicate that there are processes that establish the governor's staff, right?
Yes.
Are you aware of those processes?
Yes.
Did you indicate that one of them is conducting interviews. One of them is the county public service board conducts interviews and
Yes,
then recommends to the governor.
yes,
Okay.
which is not competitive.
Is what?
It is not competitive.
It's not competitive.
Yes.
That's fine. I want to turn you to page 20, page 90 of volume 2 of the governor's papers. Are you there?
Yes.
There are officers there that are indicated with a communication from the secretary of the Meru County Public Service Board to you, right?
Yes.
To appoint, right?
Yes.
The indication there is that the letter is dated on 1st September 2022.
Yes.
And in the body of that letter, there is a request that you had sent to the Meru County Public Service Board on 30th of August.
Yes.
Are we together up to there?
Yes.
Is it in your understanding that the Meru County Public Service Board did an interview to the officers indicated here between 30th August 2022 and 1st September 2022?
That is, I am seeing the difference of 1 day, but that was their responsibility, and that is the response
That's
that I
not
got.
what I've asked. Are you convinced that between 30th August 2022 and 1st September 2022, there was a conducted interview for the officers indicated here? Are you convinced? That's my question.
I'm convinced.
Okay. The last question, Chair, to this witness. You have given a number of communications between you as the Chief of Staff and the Meru County Public Service Board between, let me just go to page 49. I don't want to go to the specifics. Page 49 and to the, because the dates are very clear here.
Yes.
And you know you have provided the dates when the pronouncements of appointments were also made. I have them, right? Which some of them span to about 2 months before these letters.
Yes.
So I'm asking you, were these letters sent as your own diligence process, meaning that you're taking your own responsibility as your roles in your capacity as a Chief of Staff, or were these in response or in preparation for the impeding impeachment motion?
Actually, you are true. These letters were after we received the motion, when the governor received the motion, and in the motion, there was indication of these names. That is the time we wrote the letters to get the information.
Not we, it is you who wrote the letters.
Yes, it's me.
Very specific. About the impeachment, Are you trying to insinuate that you wouldn't have written these letters as a diligence process?
Yes, I could not have written, requested for them.
The last question to you. Between the time that pronouncement, for instance, of the first gentleman and the time you're writing these letters, in your own understanding, what were the tasks that the first gentleman was doing in the county based on the appointment that you know?
He was working on the Korea program, and I didn't know at any point it will bring the issue that we have today.
So you are sure this committee that he was working?
Under the Korea program, yes.
Okay, thank you so much, Chair.
Sangwa.
Thank you very much, Chair. Mr. Harrison,
Yes.
I can see you're very conversant with matters governance.
Yes, thank you.
That's a good thing. I'm going to ask you simple questions. What is Mbirwa?
Mberwa is a fox
Is a
in
fox.
Kimeru.
A fox.
Yes.
So if I called you a fox, what would be your recourse? What would you do to me?
There is no problem with that.
So
You know, in Meru, we have people even that are called by names of animals in Meru.
okay.
For example, we have Mpaka. Mpaka refers to a cat, but we have many Mpakas in Meru. We have Ng'ombe, referring to a cow, but you have people that are called by animals' name. What happened in the history of Meru? If you are born after the person that was born before you died, you are named by the name of an animal.
So calling you a fox wouldn't be an insult.
That is not an insult.
Okay. Between you, the chief of staff, and the county secretary, who could be seen to be more competent to appear before this committee to give evidence on behalf of the governor?
It is the county secretary, but allow me to add something. Even in terms of the lawyers, the official person that could have done this is the attorney, the county attorney. In the matters that are relating to county government, the county secretary and legally the county attorney are the ones that are in charge of that. But in this matter, it is the governor as a person. What is in trial is not the county government of Meru, but governor as a person. That's why even he has gone ahead to get private legal team to represent him.
Okay. Up to there, let's go to the committee that was appointed or formed during the taxi stakeholders meeting. You told us the committee was formed to investigate and maybe report to the governor on why there were wrangles between different taxi operators. What was the treasurer for that committee?
The committee that was formed was from among the members of taxi.
Yeah, I heard the governor say you're the organizing secretary, you're the treasurer. Were they supposed to pay some fines, pay for their sins? What was the treasurer? What was he to collect? What was he to manage?
There was an issue that they also mentioned about the money that they were supposed to pay. I don't know which committee, one of the committee was to pay the other committee. It was antagonist between the two committees, or between the two operators that was being handled.
Quick one. The speaker, as per the law, is an MCA. And when we are having events, the speaker always speaks when in protocol-wise, from the governor, deputy governor. If the national leaders are not there, it's the speaker who comes third.
It's true.
So would we say that the speaker is the spokesperson of the assembly?
Yes, yes.
So by him conveying what the MCAs have agreed, would you call that partisan?
No.
Okay. You played the video of MCA DMK before he was elected for the second time, where he was telling the people of Meru not to vote for the governor. Then you played another video after the election, maintaining his stand. Could we say he was right?
It was not right. What I saw in the video, in the two clips, is a personal beef for him.
Personal beef.
Yes.
Second last question. The governor is seen in most videos doing roadside declarations and appointments, which you have watered down that he never employed anybody because there was no letters of appointments or pay slips and all that.
Yes.
Are you calling the governor a liar? He's lying to the people of Meru.
He's not lying, she's not lying to the people of Meru. The only difference that something that is not very clear that I want to make it very clear, governor has been running a program that was there even before she became the women rep of Meru County. That program has been having people that she has employed personally. And she continued that program even after she was elected as the male women rep, and she has continued the same program even after she has become the governor. But now, due to many laws that she has to pray as the governor, that's the time that she delegated the law of ending that Korea program to the first gentleman, who is now ending the entire program that is away from the programs or the employment of operations of the county government of Meru.
Okay, we leave it at that. But this is an opinion, and maybe it will help me in proposing some of the recommendations. I would want your opinion on this one. The issue of public participation. MCAs go to the people to ask them whether it's okay for the governor to go. So that is public participation. Then in the issue of the governor employing, is also asking the people, can I employ these people? So why do you think it is okay for the MCAs to ask the people whether the governor should go, and the governor should not ask the people whether he should employ, she should employ?
My reference to the public participation or the employment, I was saying like this.
No. This is not in regards to what you have said. This is, I want to read your opinion.
Yes.
I'm actually trying to help you on this one. This is for you. What I'm trying to say is, do you think it's okay for the MCAs to do public participation, to ask the people whether the governor should go? But it is in both terms. Is that public participation? Would you call it?
Yes, and I support in both cases. The MCAs have right to do public participation for the impeachment of the governor, and have not opposed the public participation. What I said is that the public participation that was held on the 13th of December for the impeachment of governor was symbolic. I am not opposed to the public participation. What I was opposed is the fight that were there during the public participation.
It's okay. That's all, Chair.
The Vice Chair.
Thank you, Chair. Mine is just to follow up with the 10 million, which was meant to be for the ward development or equalization fund, as you call it, because to me, equalization fund means something else. But this money for the ward development, don't you think it would have been right for the governor to use the MCAs especially for the development in the ward, so that they work as a team if there was cooperation and coordination.
Actually, I agree with you 100% on this, and that is the approach the governor has taken.
Yeah, you mean the MCS literally refused to work together with the governor, because the MCA is the representative of the people at the ground. I'm not saying that the governor is not, but the MCA is more near to the people and he knows much better what the locals there need. I mean, the priorities of the projects that they need to do at the ward level. And so I expect the governor to work in coordination with the MCA so that they can deliver to the people of Meru.
I support that 100%. Allow me to read in my, no, page 6. I want to read page 6 in volume 4. There's something that I want to read. That was the address to the county assembly by the governor. I want to read paragraph 2 of page 6. Mr. Speaker, I invite the honorable members of the assembly that we formulate a joint consultative forum on modalities of establishing an unworkable ward development fund for each ward within the confines of the law. This will also ensure that the elected county assembly members are able to address the surging demands from the electorate. I shall also be engaging the nominated members of the assembly in projects at the grassroots levels, so as to appreciate their position and law environment to the county assembly of Meru, to show that she was really willing to work with the MCAs on this
Yeah.
issue.
Yes, but from that,
let's come, sit down together, discuss about the modalities so that we are going to ensure whatever we are going to do is within the law. That has been the take for the governor, and that one has never happened. In all the attempts, including the message from the governor that was read to the county assembly by the speaker, the same was done.
and how about bursaries from the governor's office? How do they reach the people down at the ground?
Bursaries are part of this fund, whereby, for example, when you go to ward like Nkwene, out of the 10 equalization million fund, there is 3 million for bursary, there is 2 million for water, there is 1 million for loans, a total of that equalization fund.
And how do you get to know the needy children from the wards, you know, from the governor going down to the ward without the MCAs being involved?
There is a committee, there is laws that were passed, an act that was passed by the county government of Meru that is governing the same.
From the witnesses who stood there yesterday, all I heard from them, and the governor is here, she can bear witness, is that she's arrogant, she talks to them
Chair, just
rudely.
give me leave to ask an additional question on the.
Why can't you let me finish
No,
and
no,
then you come
it's
up?
on this. It's on the word fund. That's what I just wanted to ask. Just follow up so that I follow through the
Never mind.
thoughts.
Let me
Let-
finish.
let-
Don't
let-
cut my
let-
floor, please. Senator, thank you. Because once you cut my floor, then, thank you. I don't even know where I was now. Yeah, how does she identify the people who are needy at the ground? Because even as we struggle when we want to know the needy, maybe it will need to go through the MCRs, we need to go through the chiefs and all this. But you said that there's a committee at the ward level or at the governor's level?
It is structured to have a committee at the county level and the ward level. Actually, it is Education Enhancement Act of County Government of Meru of 2018.
There is no doubt that the governor is working because we can see her all over with the on the videos. But I would ask, I've heard you say in Jesus' name, so I believe you are a Christian.
Yes,
and,
I am.
And the governor is also a bishop.
Yes.
So I would pray that unity would come to Meru, because the word of God in the book of Proverbs, chapter 15, verse 1, says, a gentle answer turns away wrath, but a harsh word stirs anger. And that is exactly, according to all what we've gathered here, is exactly what is happening in Meru. So after we do what we are going to do, I hope Meru will be in unity and Meru will work and will move together in unity. And especially working with the MCRs, because there is no way the governor can deliver without the MCRs. And there is no way the MCRs can deliver without the governor. Thank you.
I pray so in Jesus' name.
Marwa,
Just a follow-up, Governor, because, sorry, Chair. What I wanted to ask is that we have been told there is no new budget. The budget that is being implemented is the one that was made by the former county government. True or false?
It is true.
What has changed? Because in the previous government, we used to have about 25 million per year forward projects. What is the bone of contention now? What is the difference between that is occurring between the MCAs and the governor? Yet we are using the same budget.
Actually, that is the major challenge, major question that I have, because governor has not produced or given any new budget, and even some of the MCAs that are talking about the bond fund were there in the previous government, and they are the ones that passed the budget, which and only 10 million. They are the ones that did that way before the governor became governor of Meru County.
the Senator of Lamu.
Thank you, Chair. Mr. Harrison Gatobu,
Yes.
what is your position in Meru County government?
The chief of staff stroke private secretary to the governor.
Are you in any way related with the governor?
No.
Are you aware of the letter that was sent from the county assembly of Meru, slated sometimes before the impeachment motion?
Two.
Are you aware of the letter that was sent to the governor sometimes before the impeachment motion?
Yes, I'm aware.
What was the content of the letter?
The letter was copied to me, And the letter was inviting the governor for the impeachment motion. That is the first letter I ever received from the county government of from the county assembly of Meru on matters of impeachment. There is no other letter that I've received.
So the letter was informing the governor that there is an impeachment, a pending impeachment motion.
Yes.
So there was no letter that was sent to the governor to go and clarify some issues about the working relationship between the governor and the members of county assembly.
There is no letter. It's the governor who wrote the letter to the county government of to county assembly of Meru, but not from the county assembly.
What do you think that has transpired between the members of county assembly and the governor that has culminated into a very poor working relationship between the governor and the members of county assembly?
One thing that I feel, the grassroots meetings that governor has been attending, they were viewed by the members of the county assembly as making her more popular in their areas because she was able to attend many meetings. That one was the first board of contention because they were telling her she should not be attending the grassroots meeting. That is the first thing. The other thing that happened is about the ward fund, when they actually demanded that before you do anything, before you come to address the county assembly, before you engage us in any way, you need to pronounce yourself on the amount that you are going to give us as the ward fund, notwithstanding that even the budget that she was using is the budget that was passed last year, and she had no way of earning that amount because everything was budgeted.
Thank you.
Sorry,
is now-
Chair, I'm not finished. My last question I just want to ask you the last question. In your own opinion, you know, as members of this committee, we are concerned about the people of Meru and the government of Meru. In your own opinion, why do you think that the governor have had a very poor working relationship with all the elected leaders of Meru?
One thing that I feel there is the working that I can mention is about demands of things or something that is not anchored in any law. And when she becomes so strict on that, then a problem arose. And in that, I give an example of the Ward Development Fund.
The members of county assembly, how many are they in total?
There are 69.
If we include the members of county assembly plus all the elected member, how many are they in total?
We have 12 plus 69, that is 12 plus 9, 81.
Among the 81 elected leaders, who has a good working relationship with the governor? Is there any that you can be able to quote?
I can quote, like last week, I saw the governor and the MP for North Element working together in a project that they were all invited. They were all invited by CS for agriculture, and there were many people that were there. The other thing that I also needed to note, I've seen a situation whereby someone like the MCA for Kiago, who really wanted to work with the governor, was discharged of the committee, from the committees that he was in, and then maybe there is a fear that if you associate with the governor, then you are discharged from the committee. A good example is the MCA for Kiagu.
Chair, that's all I have for this.
Thank you. Mandako?
Thank you very much. My questions will be very brief, and because of time, I think for a number of questions, I just want a yes or no answer. Quickly, Mr. Harrison,
Yes,
we have a program called Okolea. Does it have employees?
yes,
How are they paid?
they are paid by governor from our savings.
Okay, thank you. Was the program in Timau an Okolea program or a county program?
The ones that were recruited were to work under our Korea program, and we can replay that clip because what happened, governors said very well that
Harrison, just a minute. I just wanted
Okay.
a straightforward answer so that we don't go back. Do you think, in your opinion, Okolea should be employing employees to work for public entities in Meru?
no,
Now, you as the chief of staff, do you have an appointment letter?
yes,
Does it contain your job description?
yes,
Does any of those job description include communication outside the office of the governor?
yes,
My last question. You said you are an employee of the senator for Meru.
I was.
Did you contest for an MCA position?
In the preliminaries, I was, but I did go to the
Just a
ballot.
simple question. Did you contest for a seat, yes or no?
Yes,
Did you resign from your position of working for the office of the senator of Meru?
yes.
How many months before the election?
6 months before election,
Which ward did you contest?
Abogeta West.
Is that the word that also the mover of the impeachment motion comes from?
Yes,
So if we say that you have used your appointment in the office of the governor to further your political interests, and therefore put the governor in a coalition course because you are still settling your political course with the area MCA, would that be correct?
I have no idea on that because you have no problem with the MCA.
No, I just want a simple answer so that we move very fast.
I have no idea.
Thank you, Chair.
Very well. Members, I have some interventions, but because we want to manage time more, this is the principal and only witness of the governor. And since we have an opportunity to ask the governor one or two things, I'll ask them through her to you, because you're speaking almost on our behalf. Number two, I would like us to adjourn for 15 minutes. And at the end of the 15 minutes, the governor will take the witness stand. The first person will be the counsel for the governor. Introduce the governor, ask a few preliminary issues or whatever issues you want to prosecute, so as to open up an entry point for the man who really wanted the witness to take the stand, i.e. Dr. Mudomi. After that, colleagues, I'll manage time. We are approaching midnight now. I'll manage time.
Chair.
No, for real. I'll manage time so that then again we break out for 1 hour for parties to go and prepare their final submissions. They cannot come from what they're doing and then make submissions. We'll need to give them 1 hour. Then thereafter, we come.
Chair, maybe you can stand down the witness.
No, I'm just about to go there. Witness, thank you very much. You've been a fantastic young man.
Thank you, Chair.
For somebody who's 42 years, you're very resilient. And more importantly, You are very knowledgeable. I don't know what the governor would do without you.
Chair, or what he will do without the governor.
Thank you, Chair.
No, I like young people, so I'm proud of you. Very well. So then that will allow parties to come and then address us. After they finish addressing us, we have to do a closing ceremony. The evening is still very long. Members, you remember that we have to proceed to our endless view for report writing. So 11. Yes, Edwin?
Chair, just for clarity, all the counsel for the governor will be doing is to introduce her.
Yes.
Because they had given up the right to lead her in evidence, and the request that was acceded to by the committee was the request by counsel for the assembly for cross-examination.
Yes.
So I think you might even allocate time now so that they know. They'll have maybe 10 minutes to introduce, then we hand her over to...
I'll allow them, because they have to prepare the governor. When they take the stand, then they'll request for time, depending on how they had prepared her. I can foresee the governor is going to take a... the exact time allocation, I'm going to consult with the secretariat and also with parties. We should be able to manage. Yes, Governor, I thought for time out and then you'll come to prosecute your request.
Sorry, Honorable Chair, I need to make a clarification for neatness of record and so that we comply with Rule 22 of the rules governing these proceedings. I have consulted my learned friend, Dr. Mudhomi, and it's only fair that I lay a basis for her cross-examination. So I'll need time to lead Anna so that at least I do not send her directly to cross-examination. That would be very unfair and prejudicial to her.
Hold your horse. That's what you're coming to do. And I can assure you, we cannot deny you that opportunity.
Rather had the other previous governors in Meru.
They had offices, they had vehicles, and everything.
Thank you. Does the first gentleman draw any salary or remuneration from the county government of Meru?
He has never drawn any coin from the county government of Meru.
Thank you. Let us briefly move on to the issue of roadside appointments, and I want to put them together. You have been accused of recruiting workers in Timau, specifically firefighters, and I think this is important that you confirm to the committee. Did you or did you not appoint firefighters at Timau?
I did not.
You did not. But Honorable Governor, you made pronouncements that were understood to mean that you recruited firefighters in that event, and that evidence was brought before this committee. What did you do at Timau?
At Timau, through my Okorea program, I identified some young men and ladies who will be of great help to Timau area and who understands the geographical area of Timau to assist the county government or even to make calls to our office, that is the Korea office, so that we can liaise with the county government to assist.
So, in a very summary form, what would be the role played by these people you recruited at Timau?
To make calls to our office.
To make calls to your office?
Yes, that is the Korea office.
Why was it necessary for them to make calls, and calls in respect to what assignment?
Because they understand the area.
They understand the area.
Yes.
Was there any particular issue with the fire or firefighting within Timau that called for this intervention?
Yeah, there were several issues.
What kind of issues?
The area, one and no fire engine.
Yes.
They requested the government to intervene.
Yes.
At the same time, they wanted us to assist with people that understands and can bring to our attention what is happening, especially when such events emerge.
So would you call then those people as a liaison between your office and the community?
Yes, they are.
Has any of those people that were appointed at Timau drawn any salary from the county government?
They haven't.
Have they been given any appointment letters?
Not at all.
Have you forwarded any of their names to the county public service for
Not at
recruitment?
all. No.
Have you instructed any county office to adopt or recruit those people?
No.
The appointment at Kobo again, you were seen appointing watchmen. Why, to begin with, were you at Kobo in the first place? What was the issue?
It was a call by the residents, especially at the market center, where they needed my assistance to get some watchmen. And at the same time, several other issues arose, and I was not alone. We were with the area MCA.
The people you were seen recruiting as watchmen, in what capacity were they supposed to serve? Is it within the county government, or exactly in what capacity, and who was supposed to pay them?
I was supposed to pay them.
You were supposed to pay them?
Yes.
As the governor of Meru, or in what capacity?
As the Okolea program director.
So you were then offering employment in your capacity as a director of Okolea?
Yes.
Thank you. I'm sure later on you will have an opportunity to talk about that Okolea initiative. You have also been accused of directing the Meru Level 5 hospital to spend at source. Did you at any time do that?
No, no, no.
What did you do? You were seen in that rally talking about waivers, talking about spending some cash. What exactly were you after?
I was invited by the committee and the acting chief officer of Meru Teaching and Referral Hospital to pay them a visit. We sat with the committee, that is the board, and afterwards we were to give address on what was deliberated from the meeting.
So there was a deliberation and there was a communication to be made.
Yes.
What was that deliberation about?
One, they wanted to use or to me to assure that they will use the money at source according to the act.
So that was their request?
That was their request.
What other deliberation were you supposed to communicate to the public based on the meeting that had transpired?
They had a list of people that they wanted to waiver the poor.
Is that the same list you communicated to the public?
Yes.
Thank you. Very quickly, again, let's talk about incitement, bullying, and vilification, and this is very key. You have been seen in those videos in an incident where it has been interpreted to mean that you are vilifying the minority chief whip and other leaders, including the Senator of Meru, the Cabinet Secretary Agriculture, MP for Tigania East constituency, who is in this building, and the Catholic Church and clergy. So very briefly, I want you to talk about the vilification of minority chief, whip, and other leaders, specifically on the incident that took place at the minority chief's whip's ward. That is Mwenda Ithili. Did you or did you not humiliate and vilify that particular member of
I did not
Congress?
humiliate Mwenda Ithiri.
You did not humiliate him. You were seen asking the member of county assembly to apologize. Why were you asking the member to apologize?
I did not ask the member to apologize. It is the crowd or the residents of the area that insisted that the MCA should apologize.
Why would they insist that their member of county assembly apologizes?
Because of the incidents that had occurred previous days.
What incidences are these you're referring to?
The issue at the county assembly of Meru when they walked out while I was giving out my speech.
So the day you were at this word, was it before or after the attempt for you to deliver the address to the assembly?
It was after.
It was after. Let's talk about the Senator of Meru County, Honorable Kadhuri. Have you at any moment tried to vilify the Honorable Senator from Meru County?
No.
Has there been any evidence brought before this committee indicating or rather showing you vilifying or even mentioning the name of this senator?
No.
There has been an issue about you talking about the Cabinet Secretary of Agriculture. Again, has there been any evidence brought before this committee where you are seen talking about the Cabinet Secretary for Agriculture?
No.
But then, Governor, I want to take you back to a video that was played here. And it is seen where you are purported to have said that certain leaders in Meru, specifically the Senator of Meru and the Cabinet Secretary, were demanding a share of your government, and you made certain utterances. Is that correct or not correct?
It is not correct because from the videos that have been played here, there is nowhere that I've mentioned any of the two said leaders.
But you mentioned not sharing any bread. You said you are not ready for nusu mkate. What were you making reference to?
I was making reference to the MCAs who had already demanded that they want a share to themselves and then they leave the bigger share to me, as we saw from the clips.
So you were making reference to MCAs who had made a request or a demand to have a share of your government.
Yes.
Have you at any time personally made any statements against the person of the Member of Parliament for Tigania East, Honorable Mporo Aburi?
No.
You have not. Has the said Member of Parliament ever sought from you an apology or complaint for any form of vilification or humiliation?
No.
Chair, I have had a comment from one of the members. Thank you for that guidance.
Order. Address plenary from this chair. What are you saying?
Chair, I have had a comment, and if my memory serves me right, from the Senator of Meru. I was wondering whether that ought to be responded to.
Comment which day?
Right now, I have had a comment from the Honorable Senator.
No, the only things you can respond to, Council, are things that are brought to your attention through the chair. The chair has not invited the MP for Tigania to address us. Until he addresses us is when you respond.
Thank you, Chair, for the guidance. Honorable Governor, you have also been accused of vilifying the Catholic Church, and there was a priest, Father Elias Kinoti, who appeared before the committee yesterday and felt particularly offended by your statement and targeted as a person who should be prejudiced. Are you seen anywhere, or is there any evidence indicating you vilifying the Catholic Church or even the very priest who appeared before this committee yesterday?
No.
Briefly, can you explain to this committee why you had that meeting at Igoji Boys? What was the discussion all about, and why was the Diocese of Meru involved in that discussion in a very brief manner?
The issue of Igoji, one, we aren't paying bills that the Diocese of Meru wanted to be paid by the county government.
How much were they demanding from the county government?
7.7 million.
7.7 million. For what purpose were they demanding that?
They claimed that the piece of land belonged to them.
And what did you do about that request for pending bill?
I went ahead to do some investigation to get the real knowledge if the piece of land belongs to Diocese of Meru. And also the residents came to my office and asked for intervention.
When you say residents, what kind of residents and from where?
The leaders from Igoji.
Leaders from Igoji. So were you responding to their request?
I was responding to their request.
Did you at any time cause chaos and accost or assault the priest who appeared before this committee yesterday?
No.
Was any information about his vilification or assault brought before your attention?
No.
Let us move very quickly to the forceful entry into the County Assembly of Meru. Were you invited for that meeting?
I was invited.
Was there any letter cancelling that meeting that was brought to your office?
There was no letter cancelling.
When you entered that premises, were you accompanied by any goons?
Not at all.
And when you entered, which office did you first go to?
I first went to Speaker's office.
And what did you do at the Speaker's office?
I signed the visitor's book.
Was that with the welcome of the Speaker or without his welcome?
It was welcome from the Speaker.
Who ushered you into the chambers?
It is the Speaker.
Who welcomed you to deliver your maiden speech?
It is the Speaker.
Who ushered you out of the chambers after the chaotic walkout?
It is the Speaker.
It is the Speaker. We have seen stones being pelted towards you. Was that stone from the County Assembly or outside the County Assembly?
From the County Assembly.
From your evidence and understanding, who was throwing that stone at you?
The MCA.
Of CCs. You have been accused of not following the law. And when you're seated before this house, did you come across any
With them and discuss about Wardford.
Did you ever present any list of CCs to the County Assembly of Meru?
I did 10 of them.
10 of them. How many were approved?
3.
Very briefly, I want you to talk about some of the members that were rejected, their qualifications in 2 minutes, kindly. Were they incompetent? What kind of people had you presented for them to be rejected?
One is Dr. Kembi Adero.
Another one?
Another one is Kariminjero. She owns master's degree.
What other person was rejected? We will not go through all of them, but the last one?
The last one is a young lady who was supposed to be the CC for youth and sports, and she was also qualified.
Were you given any report as to why those 7 names were rejected?
No,
They never gave you any.
I thought it was easy for me and good for me to restructure so that at least we can move on with the business or the functions of the government.
Was business of the government not going on?
Minus the 7 CECs, I thought it would be a bit hard. So I decided to reorganize and then assign the 3, those who have been passed, to handle at least 2 dockets each for us to move forward.
Think before the red light goes on, you have been termed as the modern day Hitler, Adolf Hitler, that we need to sacrifice you for the county of Meru to prosper, that you are not seeing eye to eye with any of the elected leaders, that you are a lone ranger, that you are very arrogant. That is the picture that has been painted by the County Assembly of Meru. Is that who you are? Are you that modern day Adolf Hitler, an all powerful? All-knowing, omnipresent person that does not require.
I've been sold by maybe the MCAs or my political competitors just to show and paint the bad part, which I'm not.
Are you in working terms with any of the elected leaders within Meru?
Yes, I am.
Kindly mention.
You have 2 minutes.
Thank you, Chair. If I could just get 3 more so that I have 5 to conclude that line of examination, kindly. Governor Kawira, are you in any working terms with any of the elected leaders in Meru?
I'm in terms with almost all of them.
Even the members of County Assembly?
Yes, because for the last 2 months, I've been going around with them to take development to their counties, and for more than 26 ones, I've been with the relevant or the area MCAs with me.
What was the purpose of your visit in those wards?
To take development.
Did the MCAs of those respective wards accompany you?
Yes, they did, more than 20.
More than 20?
Yes.
Let's talk about other elected leaders. Which other elected leader are you working with, or are you able to work with within Meru?
The CS Agriculture, the MP Nodimenti, the MP Bore. Yes.
Have you ever sat down with any of these other leaders during the 3 months?
Down with all of them after my election.
All of them?
Yes.
Let's talk about your efforts to bring about peace or create a working environment with other leaders.
I've invited them severally via a letter through the speaker to come and sit down and speak as leaders of Meru. I've invited the members of National Assembly through their chairperson, Honorable Mutunga. I've gone ahead, invited Jorin Cheke to come on board and try to bring us together. I've gone ahead, talked to the Council of Governors through our chair so that we can meet and have a dialogue. I've gone ahead, consulted bishops of Meru so that we can sit down and have a way forward.
Let's talk about the meeting that was chaired by the Council of Governors. what transpired in that meeting. But before we go to what transpired, who was in attendance in that meeting?
The leadership of County Assembly of Meru and myself and
Specifically,
10 governors.
Specifically, what leadership from Meru County?
The speaker, the deputy speaker, the whip, the minority leader, around 5 of them.
Was the mover voice motion present in that meeting?
Yes, he was
DMK.
present.
Was Honorable Mwenda Ithili present in that meeting?
Yeah.
Was the agenda of that meeting, especially from members of County Assembly? What demands were made?
The demands were that I give them or allocate word fund to them. They had planned to have a rally at Metongo, where the majority leader comes from, and they insisted that I cancel the meeting.
Did you cede to any of those demands?
Yes, I cancelled the meeting for Metongo, which was advertised for 1 week. Number 2, I also talked humbly with the first gentleman, and we agreed that at least he keep off the meetings.
And as the first gentleman heeded to your advice?
Yes.
Has he been in any public meeting ever since?
No.
He has not. Let's talk about the word fund a bit, and that's my last question. Why have you refused to release the word fund to the MCAs of Meru?
I have not refused to release the word fund. I made a budget which was from the previous regime, which unallocated not word fund, but 10 million equalization fund to every ward. And I thought it was prudent for us to continue with that one, which MCAs insisted that it was very true because the first governor had given them 25 million, the second governor 20 million, and they wondered why I had only to surrender 10 million.
Did you ever understand how the 20 million and 30 million was dispersed to the MCAs?
No.
Was there any structure, or rather legal framework for the release of that amount?
There was no legal framework.
And what was your proposal in regard to the demand by MCAs?
My proposal was even in my address that we meet and then get a way forward, and also a legal framework on how we shall have the word fund.
Thank you very much, Honorable Governor. I think for now I'll leave it at that, Honorable Chair. I yield the witness to my learned friend for cross-examination.
Dr. Madomi.
Honorable Kawira, please confirm that the Okolea program is a private charity that you run.
Yes, it is.
You have run this private charity for many years.
More than 10 years.
More than 10 years. I'll be right to tell the Senate the activities of this charity program are a frequent broadcast on Baite TV.
Yes.
Yes. And the main producer, anchor, director, or dominant person in that TV station is your spouse?
No.
Fair enough. Now, your case has kept shifting, and please listen to the shifting before I ask my question. Initially, your case was that you never made the roadside appointment. Which one do we take?
They were for cholera programs.
Good. They were for the Okolea program.
Yes.
In your affidavit before this Senate, can you point to us a single paragraph where you have said these were appointments for Okolea program?
There is nowhere here, the document that I have.
This charity you run is your charity, isn't it?
Yes.
You got the gentleman that just testified to get many letters from Ms. Virginia saying these people were never appointed by the county assembly.
They were never appointed.
Have you placed any letter before this Senate showing these roadside appointments were from the Okolea?
The accusation was the appointment.
Did
by
you
the government
produce,
of
Honorable Kawira, have you produced any evidence? The charity is owned by you. It is you saying the employees were meant for the charity, not the county. Instead of bringing us letters showing these are employees of the charity, you have brought us letters saying they are not employees of the county.
They are not employees of the county because I've not seen any appointment letter concerning
Good.
the people.
Director or dominant person in that TV station is with the drone chair.
And we now want to school you that you are now free to call him the first gentleman, your husband, or your husband,
Chair.
who is the first gentleman.
Chair. Chair, it is not sufficient for the council to just withdraw. The council should withdraw and apologize.
Yes.
Chair, just apologize. Profusely.
It's noted.
So when you appointed the first gentleman as patron of Meru Youth Service, were you doing that as part of Okole or as governor of Meru County?
It was part of Okolea. That's why I insisted that you will not draw any fund from the county government of Meru.
Wouldn't you then accept, by so doing, you have commingled your private charity with the management of an institution established by law, the law being the Meru Youth Service Act?
No.
Okay. Let's go to Timau. The problem was firefighting, correct?
Yes.
If the citizens have a problem with firefighting and they are addressing it to the governor of Meru, would they expect the governor to deal with the matter in a capacity as governor or in a capacity within a private charity called Okolea?
The Okolea program has been there for the last 10 years. Even when I was the woman representative for Meru County, the residents or the people of Meru could bring their problems to me while in office, and I also assisted in the capacity of the Okolea program as the director. So they knew very well that I'm able to assist them.
Does the Meru County government have a fire department?
Yes, it has.
Is that department staffed by the County Public Service Board?
It is.
Wouldn't that then be the body statutorily authorized to deal with the problem of firefighting in Timau?
The people employed by the county government of Meru for the firefighting are experts in those areas. Those that we assisted at Timau are the local people that would assist in locating the places where there are problems.
You've just confirmed in your affidavit, there is no way you say you made all these appointments as part of Okolea. Did you declare at Timau that you are appointing these people not as governor, but
Yes.
as, did you declare?
I did not declare.
Good,
I was
you
getting
did not
them
declare.
as the county
Let's go
government.
to Kobo. There was a request by Honorable Makasi, right?
Yes,
Honorable Makasi is an MCA
yes.
addressing a problem his residents have with the governor of Meru County.
Yeah.
When he was making that request to you, was he making it to you as the owner of Okolea, which is your private charity, or he was addressing you as the governor of Meru County?
He was addressing both sides.
Anywhere in the video where he mentions Okolea or in the transcript of that video?
The evidence is clear because when we went ahead and got some people as watchmen, the position of watchmen are not there in the county government of Meru.
My question
And
is
that is
simple,
why-
Honorable Governor. Is there anywhere in your video or any video in existence anywhere in the world in which Honorable Makasi is addressing this problem to you in your roles in Okole as opposed to your role as governor of Meru?
So many videos.
Have you placed them before this Senate?
No.
Let's go to Kenjai. You issued a directive here to ward administrators, right?
Yes.
Are ward administrators also officials of the Okolea program?
The ward administrators are government officials.
But you claim the appointments at Kianjai were also part of the Okolea. Isn't that your position?
Part was Okolea.
So by directing county officials, specifically ward administrators, to employ people and ensure they're employed when you're speaking as Okolea director, aren't you commingling again your functions as governor and the interests of your private charity?
My ones are very clear from the videos that was played, that what I said to the ward administrators, if there is anyone who is to be employed by the county government, should he follow the procedure. Those are my true ones from the videos that were played.
Would I be right to say the county secretary is the head of the county public service?
Yes.
This is an officer subordinate to you in the county hierarchy, isn't it?
Yes.
It is therefore perfectly normal for you to give these officer instructions to respond to official complaints, isn't it?
I'm the accused.
Yes, you're the accused. My question is it within your legitimate powers as governor to issue directions to the county secretary to respond to matters relating to county public service?
Come again?
Do you have power to instruct the county secretary to respond to the complaints about illegal appointments? Because he's the head of the public service. He's answerable to you, isn't he?
He's answerable to me, and he does what is right before the law.
I didn't ask. Let's go to the secretary of the county public service board. This is also an official of the county executive, correct or incorrect?
Correct.
So the governor could again lawfully direct the secretary of that board to respond to complaints about illegal appointments, correct or incorrect?
The secretary, I don't think, is in capacity to respond about the appointment or the roadside appointment. The work of appointment is based to the public service board, which does the employment.
I put it to you, sir. Sorry again, Chairman, I'm really sorry. I hope I can be forgiven without it. Honorable Governor, I put it to you that the reason you got Mr. Gatobu to procure all these letters is because the persons lawfully competent to testify on these matters would not commit to testify to them. That is the county secretary and the secretary of the county public service board.
No.
I put it to you, Father, that in the case of the county secretary, the reason you didn't ask him, and you ask a man you can dismiss at will, who is your chief of staff, is because there is an accusation about you illegally reappointing the county secretary. And if he came to testify to these things, he would be exposed as holding an illegal office.
There is no employee of the county government of Meru that I can dismiss annually.
Is the Okolea program part of the Meru Level 5 hospital legal structures?
No.
Therefore, if the roadside declarations or directives you gave with regard to the level 5 hospital was done in the capacity of Okolea, you must again have been commingling your private charity with the official functions as a state officer.
My visit to Meru Level 5 Hospital, I did not do anything concerning Okolea program. It was a visit that I was invited by chief officer and the board.
Let's go to the vilification allegation. Would I be right to say there is no contest between you and the assembly whether you made the utterances in the videos, and that the only point of contest is the meaning to be ascribed to those utterances?
Pardon?
Do you contest the utterances you made at the meeting where Mwandaivile was?
There were no utterances that I made to verify anyone.
Let's forget the vilification for now. I'm asking, the utterances on the video where you're seen speaking, are you contesting you made those utterances?
The utterances that I made was a request from the crowd or the residents.
The question, Honorable Governor, did you or did you not make the utterances? We will deal with their meanings. As a matter of fact, the chair assured us they even have Kimeru interpreters. So I'm not even interested in the meaning. I'm only interested in, did you make those utterances recorded on the video? Either you did or you didn't. Which will you take?
I repeat again, I made utterances based from the residents of that area, those that demanded their leader, the MCA, to apologize before he goes on to speak.
Chair, so that my time is not wasted in the altercation with the witness, I'm inviting you to note the witness is not answering the specific question I'm asking, which is whether the video is a depiction of utterances she made. The witness is obsessed with the implications of the utterances or their meaning, which is not my question.
Let us try and avoid that condemnation of the witness. Maybe because you want to get an answer, try and paraphrase your question. As you said, if a lawyer like you, who is schooled in English, admitted that it is a foreign language, how about her? We don't know her professional background.
Did you ask the crowd at Mweronkanga whether the Honorable Idili should apologize?
First, after the residents said that
Please answer my question.
should apologize.
Did you ask the crowd?
Yes, I asked.
Good, you asked. After the first gentleman accused the senator and the MP Tigania East in your presence of sending you certain SMSs as per the video, when you rose to the podium, did you disown the sending of the alleged SMSs?
In meetings that I attend, there are so many speakers, and it is not my duty to go on to so many every speakers.
Your husband, sorry again, Chair. I'm sorry. Thank you. Chair, let's take it as a slip of the tongue. The first gentleman accused the Honorable Cabinet Secretary and the Honorable MP for Tigania East of sending you certain SMSs making extortionist demands. When you took to the podium, did you correct those assertions? Either you did or you didn't. Which one will you take?
First gentleman is a grown-up man.
That's not my question.
Order, Madam Governor. You must answer questions the way you've been asked. He did not ask for that storytelling which you are starting. He wants yes or no.
I did not disown.
You did not disown. When the first gentleman told the public rally that the Honorable Mpuri Abori had brought fictitious pending bail for 12 companies, did you, after you took to the podium, correct that misleading information?
No, it wasn't in my agenda.
It wasn't in your agenda.
Yes.
Instead of correcting it, didn't you go to actually affirm his assertions and tell the gathering you don't want a Nusumukate government?
No.
You didn't mention Nusumukate in that video?
The video you are talking about, the Tigania East Member of Parliament, I mentioned nowhere.
I'm talking about the Cabinet Secretary and the Honorable Deputy Speaker. Did you correct the assertions made about them demanding a share in the county public appointments?
No.
You didn't. Don't you think, given the seriousness of these allegations, if you knew, as you must have, that they were lies, as a public leader and leader number one in the county, the first thing you should have done is to dispel the aspersions cast on the two honorable leaders?
But because they were uttered by a different person, I thought it was good for me to talk to him later to understand.
These
the source.
utterances, for the record, are not uttered by a random person, but by a person you have given some 2 offices in public, isn't it? Correct or incorrect?
Repeat again.
Were these utterances by a random citizen of Meru, or utterances by a person you had appointed as last ambassador and patron of the Meru Youth Service?
By then he was not appointed.
He had not been appointed.
Yes.
Was he the first gentleman at that time?
Yes.
So, don't you think as governor, if the first gentleman makes such serious allegations against other leaders, a responsible governor should take the earliest possible opportunity to clear the air and say that is not correct?
Chair, I think the council should not be asking the governor about somebody who is not here in this court and who is not held accountable in this case.
Before I respond, I have seen the red light from the, is it an objection or something?
Yes, Chairman. Honorable Chairman, we are constrained to interject because the issues that the governor is being put through, they are special in their nature under the law of evidence, under section 130. She's being asked questions about her spouse. And we have followed through and she has answered to the best of her abilities. Now she has been asked to form an opinion about her own spouse in a matter involving criminal implications, whether she's the one who is charged or it may thereafter follow that the spouse may be followed in other different proceedings in another forum, I think under the law of evidence, under Section 130 of the Evidence Act, Cap 80 of the laws of Kenya, spouses and communications relating to spouses are protected. And also, this will not be a witness who will be compelled to form an opinion, especially of an incriminating nature, against her own spouse. And also to give such evidence, she will also not be allowed without the consent of that spouse. These are a declaratory statute. And two, I did not want to venture into Article 50, Clause 2, Paragraph L, which Honorable Chair had inquired about yesterday, on whether if this client is asked questions that are incriminating to her and she refuses to answer, how will the county assembly team treat her approach to such kind of questions? And we hadn't thought we'll get here. I thought the county assembly team will be a little bit guided, not to require the governor to form an opinion, especially of an untoward nature against her spouse. That is, Honorable Chair, the protection we are requesting this committee to afford the witness and the governor, and to allow her to exercise the right to a fair hearing under Article 50 on those two parameters that I've mentioned. Thank you, Honorable Chair.
Council, I think both the Vice Chair and your colleague, they're not asking for too much. We are not sitting here to determine the innocence or otherwise arising from the utterances of the first gentleman. Leave that for another court. The first gentleman is not on trial here. So let us focus.
I'm guided in the interest of time, Chair, and I'm urging you humbly to note the interjections.
Kanzo.
I'm directed, I'll obey that directive, Chair.
Kanzo.
Yes.
Can you relax? We are aware that we have to save your time. You want us to take a shortcut so that an authority on pronouncement finds that what we did here was a sham? The only way that authority will find that it was not a sham is to follow the proceedings and find that they were done procedurally. So kindly enjoy your space, but separate the first gentleman from the governor.
I'm directing, Chair. I don't think we should be detained. I'm entirely in your hands. Let's go to the municipality, the Honorable Governor. Is the Meru Municipal Board a statutory entity?
Yes.
Does Okolea program have any mandate on functions of the municipal board?
No.
Therefore, if you answer that the committee to manage the tax operators, those who are Okolea appointments, you must still again have been commingling your private charity with a statutory body. Correct or incorrect?
Incorrect.
Let's go back to vilification, Governor. Without conceding that you vilified anyone, would vilification of other leaders cause a breach or potential breach of the peace? This is not to say you vilified anyone. It's a general question. The Honorable Kawira?
Yes.
Would persistent vilification campaigns against elected leaders create a potential threat of civil strife. Assuming it were true that there was vilification.
No.
Would vilification of the church, the mocking of its clergy, the mocking of its liturgies, are those acts, in the event the Senate were to find there is evidence to support them, acts likely to lead to civil strife?
I have not seen one.
Chair, I'm not sure that your communication has been taken. And Council, there was an application which led us where we are right now. And that application is very clear. And I think that the reason why the governor, in this case the accused, took the stand was to be able to help us dig into this evidence in your own application. And if you didn't take the guidance of the chair in the first place, I think it's critical that you understand that you will make it very difficult for us to dig into the documents provided here by the witness and the accused at the same time. You haven't even helped us dig into some of the evidences provided by the governor in volume 1, which is an affidavit sworn by the governor, which has got some very, very interesting